The four soils. This is usually considered one of the better known stories of the New Testament. But let's look at some of the customs of that day to maybe help you to visualize the story a little bit better. The story talks about the farmer going forth. Well, you have to understand, the farmer probably doesn't live next to his field like you would think. No, he lives in the village, which could be upwards to 8 miles away. So when he goes forth, he gets his donkey and he puts the seed on the donkey in large sacks. Then when he gets there, then he can take the seed and put it into a leather bag that he carries under his arm. And as he casts the seed out on the field, and every now and then he goes back to the donkey and refills his bag. He's probably planting either wheat or barley. Now there are other grains there, but those are the two most important ones. Wheat is grown along the coast of the Mediterranean and in the Jezreel Valley. Barley can be grown in a more rocky soil and is more common. Barley makes the small little barley loaves, which are for the common people. Now, when we think of him going out and planting seed, if you're from the culture I'm from, you think spring. This is springtime when he is going to plant the seed so he can harvest in the fall. That's not the way it is there. You have to understand, the rainy season is during the winter. The summer is hot and dry. Matter of fact, it doesn't rain at all, and it's very hot. And so it bakes the soil, so it's absolutely hard. You can't plant anything. So the farmer waits until what's called the farmer rains. That comes in October, November, even as late as into December. It's a little bit colder then, but the rain softens the soil so the farmer can go out and he can plant his seed. That's why the scripture says that a sluggard will not plow because of the cold. He's waiting for it to warm up. Well, if he did that, it's way too late. He has to go out and plant when it's got those cold rains going on. They're going to harvest this grain. Barley is a little bit sooner. They will harvest that maybe in the, let's say, April. And this is after the latter rains. And then wheat will be harvested probably in May. Now, when we talk about the process, as the farmer goes out, he is broadcasting the seed out over the field. And right behind him is either a servant or another farmer that he's cooperating with. And they will do both fields. The other person is leading a plow through the field. Not a deep plow, but a shallow plow. The idea is to throw the seed onto the soil, and then the plow turns the soil to cover up the seed. It needs to do this to sprout, but it also needs to do it because of the birds. Those birds are following the farmer. The trick for the bird is to get the seed after the farmer throws it out and it lands on the soil, and before the servant comes with the plow to cover it up. Therefore, the seed that falls onto the path, the hard path, is just going to sit there. And no one's going to cover that up. So that's open game for the birds. Talking about the path, on the two sides of the path, the seeds that fall just on the good soil that's next to the path, when that brings forth grain, that's open for the public. Those who are walking along the path can help themselves to the grain that is right there. That's what happened when Jesus and the disciples were going along, and and the disciples pulled up the grain and then rubbed it in their hands to get the grain. They got in trouble for that, not because they reached out and stole the grain. No, they didn't steal it. That was allowed. It was because it was on the Sabbath, and the action of rubbing their hands together to get the grain was considered work on the Sabbath. And that's what that was talking about. The story talks about the seed that fell on the stones. You might think that stony ground where the stone is mixed with soil, little stones. No. This is actually large stones where there's a thin layer of dirt, kind of a mound that kind of goes up over that stone. The seed can fall on that, and it can actually sprout there, but it's just a thin layer of soil, so it can't let down strong roots. So when the sun comes and bakes that stone, then it'll just shrivel and die. You'd also think, when it talks about thorns and weeds, that a good farmer ought to get out there and get those weeds out of there. No. They do weed the field. But these patches of thorn bushes and thorns and weeds, those are actually useful to the farmer. Remember, he has come upwards to 8 miles to get there. So when it's time to start a fire to make his meal, where does he go? He goes to these patches of thorns and weeds, gets those to make a quick fire. So he leaves them there. Consequently, when he's sowing the seeds, some of the seed falls among the thorns and the weeds. Well, a few little insights to help possibly make this picture a little bit more realistic for you. If you enjoy this time, come back next week when we give you more insights on the story of the week. We'll see you next week.